Business English with Richard Halligan. In this presentation, we will be looking into feedback. What is feedback? We have heard the term feedback one time or another throughout our lives, from our days in school to our jobs, and even with our families at one point or another. In the corporate world, it's extremely important for management teams, supervisors, head of departments to be able to evaluate your progress. Feedback is widely used in people management where they communicated with staff members on a one-to-one basis, expressing their opinions in many different ways. It gives a voice to staff members to evaluate management, as well as making it an important tool in people relations within the company, by giving them a chance to give employees the ability to promote communication, encouragement, motivation, and engagement to other members of staff. Not only feedback from your boss or supervisor is important, but feedback from the public and your customer base is a very important one. And making mistakes when dealing with customers, or dealing with a mistake in advertising, or even having issues with their products can lead to a lack of sales and complaints. Nowadays, we are living in a world where information is in the palm of your hands and access to many sites where one comment on Facebook, Instagram, and many sites where anyone can see other people's positive reviews or complaints. When it comes to products, we now have people buy a product and film the reviews on YouTube, giving a positive or a negative review. In some customer issues, your attitude can also affect customer outcome. If you are friendly, nice, and polite, they will feel welcome and want to come back. But if you speak to a customer rudely, that will make them feel that they're not wanted, and they may not even come back again. In feedback culture, feedback is used in companies to motivate employees and encourage change in work rate, behavior, and improvements in their professional performance. When there is a culture of feedback in companies, it can help improve and direct professional growth, or employees using positive reinforcement towards hard work and good behavior, which brings out the best of the staff members as well as improve the production. Now, normally, employees have the opportunity to give feedback on their bosses, their managers, supervisors, or department heads. Now, many have been known to be false, as members of staff input false information about a higher up because maybe they probably don't like this person. But however, there have been situations where staff members write real positive and negative feedback about staff. But employees have the advantage to remain anonymous, so there will be no uncomfortable feeling or to make them feel like their job is on the line. Make you understand where you need to improve. When giving a feedback review or hearing a feedback review, always deal with facts and be truthful to the person in question and yourself as well. Never use examples about other people who was affected or who were affected in some way. The next important step is to accept any negative comment and try to learn from those mistakes. Whatever expectations they set out for you, try to prove them wrong about you. It shows that you are prepared to make that change in your behavior or your work rate. Of course, there may be times you will feel things might not be true or misunderstood, but always, and I mean always, remain calm. Never use a negative tone, as that would not help or this would not work in your favor. Now, how to give feedback? Well, first you need to make a plan. Think about what it is you want to tell your employee. Write down key areas that you want to say and how you will say it. Have a plan of action for the employee to do to solve the issue. Have a specific approach. You need to write facts, not assumptions. Speak calm and clear and be very professional, and do not let your emotion affect your feedback presentation. Always try to focus on the behavior. Pay a close attention to the attitude of the employee you see and how they behave during the feedback process. If they are sitting upright, being focused, paying attention, and asking the right questions, and using the correct language and tone of voice, then you know that they are willing to make changes. However, if they are the opposite of what you expect them to do, then it shows that this person has no intention of changing. And afterwards, you can take the right course of action in handling said employer or employee. Choose a time and place. If you're the type of manager or supervisor that wants to give feedback to a member of staff, but you're a bit worried about making them uncomfortable, always choose a certain time and a location that would make the tension less uncomfortable, or try to create an environment which would make your employee less uncomfortable. So try and choose a time and place that would make your employee more comfortable, and an environment where they might feel free to express any concerns or issues they may have. Keep the balance. Try to keep a good balance between corrective and positive feedback. It is very common to focus on only one area and never mention on any behaviors that should not be reproduced. Remember, feedback must be relevant. Be objective and remain calm. Stay focused on current events and do not bring up any irrelevant events from the past. Use effective techniques. Get straight to the point. Make good eye contact and focus on the main issues and come out with an action plan. It's also best to have an effective style. When giving feedback on a regular basis, it is best to have your own way of giving feedback. Some are more straight to the point, others slowly build up to what they want to say. However, there are others that try to be more relaxed and very cheerful. And of course, there may be some members of staff that will have a more aggressive approach. Explaining the feelings. Clarify your feelings, good or bad, that they were caused by the act that needs to be corrected. Have the ability to learn. Once you have given your feedback, this is a good time to hear what your employee has to say and let them express their point of view. Try to make notes on what they have to say so that you have a record of what they need or what areas they would like to change in order for them to be more capable to do the task or tasks they have been given. How to receive feedback. Now, for the other side of the coin, giving feedback is one thing, but to receive feedback can be either a positive experience or a negative experience. Many people feel that they have done nothing wrong or caused any problems, but in truth, you are not perfect, you will make mistakes, and you will have done something that has affected the company or upset a fellow member of staff. It is a sign of maturity in how we take criticism and other opinions and turn them around to show that you are willing to make a change. How to prepare to receive feedback. Try to give yourself a self-assessment. Self-assessment is the key to help you prepare yourself to think about your strengths and your weaknesses. Identify where you can improve or make changes, whether it is your attitude, your timekeeping, your work rate, or your ability to work with others, and so on. This way, you are open to receive the feedback in a calm and open-minded manner. Avoid defensive postures, aggressive facial expressions, and any negative vocabulary. Of course, it is natural to defend yourself, but try to remember that getting angry and upset may not help you. Take in mind that the person giving the feedback might not have that much contact with you and is only stating what has been presented to them. And of course, normally, present during feedbacks, there is a supervisor who has daily interaction with you. This way, the person knows you very well, either good or bad. Learn to listen and take notes of what has been presented to you in order for you to improve as an employee. If something that was negative about you, ask your supervisor or your boss how you can make certain changes or methods to help you become a better employee. This will show that you want to change and are willing to accept any advice that they have to offer. And also try to remember, feedback is a two-way street. So don't just wait for the compliments. Expect some bumps, to show up. Think of the negative statements as constructive information and turn it into something positive and make that change. Create an action plan. When receiving feedback, it is necessary to analyze the points of improvement. Mention and draw up any action plan and what directions you receive to overcome the difficulties and improve your performance. Always start with the most important points and seek help from those who are good in the areas you might need to improve. Now, also be willing to learn and change. And finally, remember the whole purpose of giving feedback is not to discourage people or make anyone look or feel inefficient. It is a tool to help people learn, to grow and improve themselves, not just to others, but to themselves as well. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you find this very useful, and I hope to see you again. Take care.